Countries with employment problems have had their socio-political and economic structures dislocated, with spiraling effects on all sectors of the economy. This, among other reasons, explains why many countries of the globe make frantic efforts to ensure that unemployment as a problem is tackled head-on, using various means to keep it in check. Here in Nigeria, spirited efforts have been made over the years by successive administrations through various policies and programs to address the issue of unemployment. Our focus in this edition of Frontiers is bridging the ever-widening gap among of unemployment among the youth. With me to discuss the topic and prove a possible way forward is a wealth coach and employment expert, Francis Okumagba. Welcome to NTA International's Frontiers, Francis Okumagba.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm Nancy Godi-Anguni, who welcoming you to Frontiers. But just before we commence the program proper, let's watch this video clip that heralds the discussion.
Principal actors in the development and delivery of skills in Nigeria have agreed to collectively champion a new course for technical vocational education and training to enhance the lives of out-of-school children, working adults, unemployed graduates and apprentices, so they can compete favorably in the changing global economy, which feature lies in the development of skilled and mobile workforce.
The nation's skills development challenges started immediately after the third National Development Plan, when emphasis was shifted from competency to paper qualifications.
The ministry will keep and reposition Tibet and all our technical and technological institutions in order to face the challenges of the future.
But it's important that we look at the issue of quality. A lot of times our artisans not only have the skill, but they don't have the discipline to sit down and provide quality work.
The framework will help coordinate, standardize, regulate and restore dignity of labor to this set of training usually provided in a non-formal setting.
Now, advanced countries, for example, have cushioning measures like welfare schemes, unemployment database. These serve as middlemen between job seekers and the employers of labor. Nigeria has similar agencies like National Directorate of Employment, the NDE, National Poverty Eradication Program, UWIN Program, and others. Why is Nigeria not yet there?
You see, Nigeria is so blessed. Nigerians are talented, and government too has done a lot in creating the enabling environment for all these structures to work together. But we have fundamental issues. Fundamental issues in the sense that our style of education, introduced by the colonial masters of old, brought education and saw the need for education at that time to produce teachers, to produce civil servants, and to produce interpreters. So they schooled us to focus and produce graduates that will fill those spaces. And that educational system has not changed till today. So we are churning out a lot of graduates out every year. And you are not able to match what they read in school and what is obtainable in the labor force and what is required in the labor force and what is required to actually implement education. Throw in Nigeria and China, where the environment is very hostile, climatic condition is harsh, and it does not understand the language. They survive. So Nigerians learn very fast. But the fundamental input in creating the foundation that the individual needs to be employed properly is faulty. Yeah. That is why we are having a lot of distortions in the frames of things. That's why there's a lot of unemployment, because the skills gap and the skills required and what is shunned out of university has a mismatch. We also have situations where our vocational schools are very few, and the demand for vocational programs is larger today than what you actually have with graduates, because we have too many graduates, too many universities that are churning out graduates who cannot implement what they've learned. So that is the distortion that we have. It's not that government is not doing something. It's not that we don't have all those agencies. The agencies are there, but there's a lot of mismatch in the culture that we have evolved in producing and giving education to the people that will shun out for employment.
You're saying that the school curriculum is not reflective of what the
needs in the environment is.
Yes, what we need as a country to grow.
Correct.
We have to tailor our needs, our educational
system.
values or system to fit into what the country needs to
We need to retweak our educational system and create the enabling environment to look at what is happening in the environment and tie it to what we are educating people for, the type of programs they are reading. The language of business today is ICT. If you look at our system today, how many people are actually being exposed to using the internet? In China today, there are various programs. The system has adjusted and they are churning out a lot of, if you want to do any program in China, you must be exposed to ICT. Another thing that we do wrongly is that every program that we do, medical, doctors, lawyers, engineers, and all that, there is no entrepreneurship skills attached to it. So when you become a doctor and come out, how do you become a businessman? They become doctors who are not businessmen. They become lawyers who are not businessmen. So we have a lot of people who actually come out of university and cannot make money.
How can a doctor be a businessman?
Can I tell you something? Yes. I'm not a doctor, but I can use a doctor to make over ₦1 million a month. Okay. If I want to employ a doctor today from the US who knows how to use laser equipment, and I say, come on vacation in Nigeria, I'll pay you $10,000 a month. And I bring him into Nigeria and I put him in a small hospital in Nigeria. And I announce in 5 major churches that any woman that has fibroid, I'm going to have a specialist coming. They will do the operation. They will not cut you. All you need to pay is 100,000 naira.
Mr. Okumaga, we will get there where we will tell us what can be done. But as I just told you that some other countries, they also use this database to cushion effects of unemployment. How is database being used? The database is available. How does it actually play
government continuously evolve data that are used. As I speak to you now, youth service, for instance, they've come up with a database of unemployed people. That's anybody that goes to the youth service. There is a system that actually gets their name and everything to make it possible for organizations who are looking for people to employ to key into that software and actually get people out of it. The national reorientation program is there. There are people that are monitoring people that are being repatriated who go out of the country to reorientate them into the system. The government systems are there, but that's not what creates the gap in unemployment. The unemployment gap that we have in Nigeria today is created by our environment. For example, everybody have role models as you grow up. The people that are very successful are the people that people look up to want to be like. We evolve leaders, politicians who came around and became very successful and cannot show what they are doing for their wealth. And we have a lot of young people who want to emulate and copy them. So we have a lot of young people today who don't want to do anything but make money.
This database, does it help government in planning or in creating jobs for the youth?
Government cannot create all the jobs that you really require to actually solve the unemployment problem. Government can facilitate it. And the truth about it is that government has a way of facilitating this. Niger Delta Ministry was created to empower 9 states in Nigeria. And they created programs. Lots of money were actually voted and budgeted for it. That is government initiative. Government can implement through the type of schools by creating more universities, by creating more vocational centers and all that. But government will not create the employment.
That's the case here. In Nigeria, we're waiting for government to create employment and recruit people.
There is a wrong disposition of a lot of people today. There are a lot of people who are unemployed today because of themselves. Unemployment is a solution to employment.
You said so.
And the truth about it is that it starts from the home. You have parents who want their children to read medicine when they have the flair to actually become musicians. So you have a lot of mismatch already as they are going into the type of schools that the type of education that they get. Look at Fela, for instance. Fela's parents wanted him to go and read medicine or law, I can't remember. But when he went abroad, he came back a musician. You can imagine if he followed what the parents told him to do.
He mightn't have made it.
He wouldn't have been a good doctor. But he became a very prominent musician at the end of the day. So government has the statistics. The problem is not government having the statistics and all that. However, they need to improve on the statistics that we have. Because one other way that you can ease off understanding and getting security for the people you employ is to be able to have a data that you can use to actually find out what that person has done. If he does something, you can actually locate him. Like the social security number. But we are beginning to get there. We are getting there already, and a lot of things are in place. The national, what do you call it? There's an organization government has created that is taking data of everybody now, so we can actually have the social security number implemented. By
the Fela example, you're saying that people must not go to school to make money or be employed.
Correct.
Now, SMEs are said to be the backbone of every economy, and entrepreneurs are the brains behind this business. The present administration, we know, is taking the lead in reducing unemployment. You've already said that, through promotion of entrepreneurship. Can you give us an example of countries that have succeeded using this means?
China. China is doing very well today because they monitor what the environment needs and they tailor the educational system to actually feed what is required in the environment. Canada, for instance, the educational system in Canada, my daughter is in Canada today, in the primary school level, she's exposed to getting confidence in speaking to the public and all that. My daughter in university today, they have a program where they link them to corporate organizations and they go to experience what is happening there. This is education. Our education system here is still theorized. Everything is in theory and all that. So we need to look at the fundamentals that will actually solve this unemployment problem, because what we need to solve our unemployment problem, we have all of them. In fact, we have solutions that can make us reduce unemployment by over 30%.
Statistics by Small Medium Enterprises Agency of Nigeria, I think that's Smeden, says there are over 37 million SMEs in Nigeria, and they employ over 60 million Nigerians, as well as contribute to up to 48% of the country's GDP. How would you describe these steps taken so far and their impact?
Wonderful.
Yes.
But it can be better.
Yes.
They've done a lot in that area and they are still doing a lot. People are going back to agriculture, especially this new government. This new government has introduced some level of body language that is making everybody sit up. People are going back to the fundamentals now. The orientation that created an environment where everybody wanted to be a politician, everybody wanted to make money without doing anything, is dying out because money is not as easy as it used to be in that direction. So the body language of the current government has started a process of repatriating a lot of people. You can see a lot of things going on now. There's a lot of repackaging of agricultural products. There's a lot of farming going on. People have gone back to farming, and there's a lot going on. But the truth about it is that we still need to do a lot to improve on that. Vocational people who do vocational programs, they don't have the dignity of labor. They don't have a certification. They don't have a certificate that makes them feel recognized. Yes. If you have a plumber in the US, he goes around with a lot of confidence. Because when he goes to do a job, he's paid what is worth. We don't have that in Nigeria yet. So we need to improve on that. People should be happy to do vocational programs. In fact, we should have more people in the families go into vocational programs than go to university. You read history, you read biology. What are you going to do in the society? Nothing. Implementing it. Virtually not. But today, as I speak to you, those entrepreneurs who went through vocational programs and exposed themselves to learning how to sew, they are going to start employing the graduates very soon. They are the ones that will start employing our graduates very soon, because the graduates do not have any job to do.
You can see that I want to actually support what you're saying. Like, if you see all these eateries, yes, they're not universities, they're not education based. You just go there, you want to eat, you must go and eat.
Our educational system trained people to be civil servants, teachers, and interpreters. We are still there. And we have not gone into the computer era, where people can actually transform into what is happening in the digital world, you don't open a shop anymore. People are opening shop and they are looking for money to rent the shop, they are looking for money to stock the shop, they are looking for money to buy a generator, they are looking for money to employ people. You don't need 1 naira to start a business. You can actually open a shop, taking the pictures of somebody who knows how to sew, who is in Buhari, and collect the pictures and put it on the internet and put your price there. You will start selling and you will sell more than the person that has the shop. So we need to do a lot of orientation as I speak to you. You don't need 1 naira to start any business. Most of the businesses that you need to start. So what we need in Nigeria is more of reorientation of our people.
Hold it there, Mr. Kumagba. We take a short break now on Frontiers. It continues in just a moment. This is Frontiers, and we are discussing bridging the ever-widening unemployment gap among the Nigerian youth. And we have as our guests Francis Okumagba, a wealth coach and an empowerment expert. Now, what measures do you think government can employ to tackle this menace of unemployment?
Unemployment is the solution of employment. There are a lot of people who are unemployed. Do you know that you can use employment to solve the unemployment problem? For example, there is no notice you put out there that you want to employ people that people will not apply for a job.
Definitely.
Can I tell you I can employ somebody that will make money doing nothing? Supposing I put out a notice out there that I want to employ a lawyer and I'm willing to pay 100,000 naira a month, will I get people to apply for the job?
1,000
yes.
of them.
A lot of them will come. If I pick the best and I lock him in a room in my office and I tell him all you'll be doing in this office is write agreements, and I turn around to 5 major churches in Nigeria, I go to Koza, Living Faith, Catholic Church, Dunamis, Redeem, and the National Mosque, and I tell them anybody that has any type of agreements to write, come, I charge only 20,000 naira. Many people will come to my office. If 100 people come to ask for agreements to be written and they pay 20,000 naira, how many agreements do I need to pay the salary of the lawyer? 100,000. 5 agreements. So I have used employment to create employment, or unemployment to create employment. Am I a lawyer?
No.
I will pay the lawyer 100,000 naira and I will make as much as 1.8 to 9 million naira just employing somebody. So you can imagine if we teach people and go around and do orientation all over Nigeria, teaching coppers and everybody how to create employment. Let me simplify it. Do you know you can employ a house girl who knows how to do braids very well? The salary of a house girl is 10,000 naira. Put her in your sitting room and announce to people you live in the area with that you do hair for children and you charge 2,000 naira per hairdo. How many hairdo would that girl do in a month to earn a salary of 10,000 naira? 5. Will a housewife do more than 20 to 30
yes, no.
for children in a month? No. He has earned over 100,000 naira.
And she can
so
also
unemployment can create employment. 2, government needs to retweak our education system. Make people who want to do vocational programs important. Do certification that will give them certificates. Let them go for convocation and wear a gown and get the certificate and have the comfort that they are graduates, but vocational graduates. It will make them more people will go for those programs than the university programs we are going for today. Do you know that our vocational graduates will soon start employing our graduates, because our graduates are all over the place jobless. Now, the same vocational program that I'm talking about, we need to have a certification. Somebody comes to repair something in your house and he doesn't do it well and he goes away with it. But if you have certification, you'll be able to have his number and report him and they blacklist him from doing that program. When you do that, people will take their job more seriously. The other thing that we need to talk about is our orientation. Our leaders who are role models should look at themselves again, because they are creating role models that young people cannot copy. If you see a leader that is rich and he does not have, you can't see what is making him make that money, and you emulate him, then you'll be creating a lot of people who want to do nothing but make money. The other thing I want to also talk about again is the ease of doing business. It is difficult to do business in Nigeria.
Which the government has already started.
Government is working on it already.
Yes,
the vice president came up with a lot of things, which is very good. Ease of doing business. Power. Power needs to also be worked on, because power creates a lot of costs in doing business. It will help the process of electricity. Now, donor agencies. There are a lot of donor agencies who come with money to want to solve problems for Nigeria. But they repatriate those monies every year without using the monies in Nigeria. Because they look at the system, they can't use the government because of the bureaucracy. And the private sector company that you work with, a lot of them are 419. Because we have a lot of young people who don't want to do anything. They set up briefcase companies and they lure these donor agencies to do this business. The donor agencies are in the middle, confused. If government can collaborate with professionals like us, who have empowerment agencies, and we work with the government in collaboration, the donor agency will be very comfortable working with the government agency. I can actually partner with NTA, which the government has already set up already, and we work together, and we go around Nigeria doing reorientation of our youth and women on how they can start business without one naira in their pocket.
Why doesn't the donor agency have confidence in Nigeria?
The donor agencies have confidence in Nigeria.
Both government and individuals or private sector.
The problem is that bureaucracy, government bureaucracy, and the way things are done makes it almost impossible for them to achieve so much in a year. Now they want to use private sector companies. When they advertise, over 100 people will apply. 70% of them could be people that don't have anything to offer. So it is difficult for them to pick people. Even the local donor agencies and the foundation, show me what they are doing in Nigeria today. If government creates a system where we can actually have collaboration opportunity, where the donor agencies and the individuals can come together, we will be able to apply more of these things. Collaboration is something that government needs to set a platform on. All the agencies that have anything to do with empowerment, let them create collaboration desk. Bring a private sector expert and bring a donor agency together. The government agencies will put trust in the donor agency. The private sector company will bring the intelligence who understand the Nigeria environment and be able to work together to do a lot of things. Money flows in the streets of Nigeria. You don't need to have 1 naira to start any business. The problem we need to do to reduce the gap of unemployment is to reorientate the minds of our people. Do you know you can actually start a business selling sugarcane and make 1.8 million naira a month with a capital of 10,000 naira? Sugarcane is still packaged in Nigeria the way our forefathers who did not go to school packaged sugarcane. We still sell sugarcane on wheelbarrows in Nigeria. It's not hygienic, it's not presentable, and we still do it. Graduates are supposed to understand and turn the way we package sugarcane, improve on it, and start making money on it. But the graduates don't look at it because, how can I sell sugarcane? But I will show you now how you can sell that sugarcane without touching the sugarcane, and you make 1.8 million naira a month.
How can that be?
Get the same farmer to bring the sugarcane from the farm. It will be very cheap. Tell them to clean the sugarcane, cut it into small bits, put it in a transparent plastic bowl. People will buy 200 naira per pack.
Yeah, package it, yeah.
If I sell 500 packs of that sugarcane, it will give me 100,000 naira a day. The capital is 10,000 naira. You will make 90,000 naira a day selling sugarcane. You don't need to sell it because you can't sell 500. Employ 6 graduates. Call them distributors or marketers. Promise to pay them 50,000 naira a month. Distribute the sugarcane, 80 packs to each of the 6 graduates to go and distribute. Put 2 in charge of supermarket. Put 2 in the secretariat. Put 1 in we say market and put 1 in the barracks. They will go and sell the sugarcane and come back. You will make 90,000 naira a day. Remove Saturday and Sunday, 20 days in a month. 20 times 90,000 naira is 1.8 million naira a month. The salary of the 6 graduates at 50,000 naira is 300,000. You will make 1.5 million naira a month. Use 500,000 to rent a bus that will take them around and bring them back. That's a business in Nigeria that will give you 1 million naira with a capital of 10,000 naira. Transpose it into every food item you can think about. In Nigeria, we still sell pomo in the market. We still sell shaki in the market. Every item you see in the market packaged and distributed properly, you will make 1 million naira a month. Do you know how many people can be employed with that? Do you know how many entrepreneurs you will create with that? Do you know how many entrepreneurs you teach how to employ people and they will make money? They will employ doctors, engineers, house girls, and they will start making money. What we need in Nigeria is put a government agency attached to an empowerment agency like ours. Take it to NYC. Take it to a state.
To lend credibility to what
you're
doing. Yes.
When you do that, you partner with, you don't need to pay too much money. There are donor agencies that will sponsor it.
And of course, government needs to regulate what anybody does.
That will reduce unemployment by over 20% in Nigeria. And I'm saying it with confidence, because if you teach people how to employ people, they will go out employing people. It will reduce the unemployment. So if I teach 20% of the unemployed people, they will go out and start employing 20% of the unemployed. You have taken 40% of the unemployed people out of the market without doing anything. So the intervention that I think state government should do to reduce unemployment in Nigeria is to create collaboration opportunities for government agencies and private sector agencies to work together, invite donor agencies who have the interest of improving causes. Money flows in the streets of Nigeria. We want to work with donor agencies, government agencies, to empower a lot of people. State government can implement, local government can implement, donor agencies can implement, government agencies that have a lot to do with empowerment can do. We need to do a lot of collaboration in Nigeria. And if we do collaboration in Nigeria, unemployment will be solved. The problem of unemployment will be solved by over 20%. If you are a state government, you can key into it. If you are a local government chairman, you can key into it. If you are a government agency that has responsibility for empowerment, you can key into it by just collaborating with the relevant people that you need to collaborate with, and we will solve the unemployment problem in Nigeria.
You've actually done justice to this. You've heard it all from the wealth creator or wealth coach himself, Francis Okumagba.
Yes.
Thank you for coming on Frontiers. We discussed the ever-widening gap, unemployment gap among the youth, and Francis Okumagba has actually lent a good touch to it. And we've learnt from him that wealth is flowing on the streets of Nigeria. We can also just go and grab it. Thank you so much for watching the program. I'm Nancy Godin-Anganihu, asking you to stay tuned to same time next week for another interesting edition of Frontiers.